What comes to mind when you see this graph right here? How about this one? See, most people can look at this graph and see that the dollar, or the Federal Reserve note, has lost about 96 to 97% of its purchasing power over the last 104 years, but yet think nothing of it. Not realizing that every hump on that spiral that goes downward is a major historical point that has a lot to do with understanding the difference between a Federal Reserve note and a dollar. One thing people always ask me is, why is it so important to begin rethinking a dollar? And my number one answer is because there's more to the dollar than we've ever been taught in school. And the whole idea of rethinking a dollar came about from the fact that most people have no clue of the difference between a Federal Reserve note and a constitutional sound dollar. If you look around me right now, there's 4 different time periods. There's 1792, 1913, 1965, and 2017. Each one of these years hold a historic mark for our nation and our national currency, of which people know very little about. So one thing I've done is put together some of the key mark points in our history of this nation and put it together in a infographic of what I call the Dollarcation. So if you click the button below, you'll have instant access to this Dollarcation, which is a good way to share this knowledge with your family and friends. So this graph here is a basic way of saying, hey, here are some key instrumental points of our history here as a country and how it surrounds our money. Most people understand very little about the importance of monetary policy and fiscal policy and the role it has on the Federal Reserve note. In the years ahead, more people are going to have to work longer and longer, but yet purchase less and less. And why is that? It's because they lack a monetary awareness, a full, thorough education on the dollar and the role it plays in their lives. The Dollarcation infographic is designed to actually give you some of the basics. It walks you through the timeline from 1792 all the way to present times, dealing with, the coinage acts, dealing with the idea that, right now, the concept of QE and ZERP are all real concepts that we know nothing about. No. The best way to become truly monetarily aware is to take the time to go through this chart here and get an understanding of what's going on and what has happened over the last couple hundred years in our country. I also want to invite you guys to a special webinar that I'm putting together where I'm going to talk about these same facts in more details to let you know how it really applies to your daily lives and how in the days ahead we can expect things to actually go probably even negative. Take a minute, fill out this information next to me so you can be notified when the webinar is ready to go, and help me to get the word out to as many people as possible. Hashtag the word Dollarcation when you share this infographic so more people can come across the idea of monetary awareness and the rethinking dollar concept to prepare for the days ahead. Looking forward to seeing you in the webinar. Later.